The airport is almost eerily still at this hour. Not the peaceful kind of still, the kind that presses against your chest when your whole career is hanging by a thread. Alex sits alone near the gate. Her racket bag rests against the chair. Beside her, headphones draped around her neck. But there's no music. She doesn't need sound right now. She needs clarity. And somewhere between the departure board and the hum of the overhead lights, she's already gone in Madrid, already. On the court, already chasing the version of herself she hasn't seen in weeks. In a few hours, that plane lifts off from Germany. And the moment it touches down in Spain, everything shifts. Not because Madrid is magic, but because clay doesn't lie. Clay doesn't hand you anything. It doesn't reward pretty tennis or lucky bouncing. It demands truth about your movement, your patience, your belief in yourself when a rally stretches to 20 shots and your lungs are screaming. And for Alex, a left-handed, top-spin heavy grinder built for exactly these kinds of brutal grinding wars, this surface is either going to save her season or rip the roof off every weakness she's been carrying. There is no middle ground, no soft landing. She knows that. And she needs this anyway, not the way fans say it before a big tournament. She needs it the way only an athlete can, deep in the ribs, quiet and relentless, the kind of need that makes you stare out a plane window at nothing, wondering whether you've been getting something wrong all along. Because the last few weeks, they've been heavy. A string of early exits on the European swing has a way of shrinking your world. It makes you forget the wins that came before, and there were wins. Real, meaningful wins. The kind that pushed her inside the top 30 earlier this year, a milestone she earned through sheer will. But tennis doesn't hold on to milestones for you. Tennis only remembers what you did recently, and recently hasn't been kind. So here she is, waiting for a boarding call. And back home, an entire nation is already awake, phones in hand, checking draws, watching highlights, daring to hope. Because that's the thing about Alex. She has a habit of showing up exactly when people stop expecting her to. Just when the story seems written, she walks in and rewrites the ending. But this time, the doubt isn't only coming from the outside. It's written into the calendar itself. The Mutua Madrid Open isn't a tournament where you ease your way back into form. It's a WTA 1000 event, the biggest, most unforgiving stage outside of a Grand Slam. Every name in the draw is dangerous. Every first match feels like a final. And what Alex is chasing here isn't a trophy, not yet. She's chasing momentum, the stubborn, grinding match-by-match kind that can't be faked and can't be borrowed. The kind you have to bleed for, rally by rally, until your legs finally wake up and remember what they were built for. Madrid also plays tricks on you, and she knows it. The city sits high, well above sea level, and that altitude changes everything about how the game feels. The ball moves faster, sharper. It doesn't sit up in the strike zone the way it does in Rome or Paris. Your timing gets tested before your game does. For most players, that's disorienting. For a left-hander who loads her ground strokes with heavy topspin and loves to drag opponents behind the baseline, that thin air could quietly become her greatest weapon, if she can find her range early. If she can stay committed to the rally when her brain is still recalibrating. If she can be patient, not the rehearsed, interview-ready kind of patient, but the real kind, the kind that actually hurts. And then there's her movement. Defensive sliding on clay is something you either learn over years, or you don't learn at all. Alex has spent years learning it specifically at the Rafa Nadal Academy, grinding on Spanish red dirt until sliding became instinct, not thought. Spain is practically a second home to her now. She knows the light, the rhythm, the way evening practice sessions feel when the sun drops low behind the stands. That familiarity doesn't win matches on its own, but it removes the anxiety of the unfamiliar. And when you're rebuilding confidence from scratch, every small comfort matters. Now let's be clear about the field she's walking into, because it deserves honesty. Aryna Sabalenka is hitting through opponents like they aren't there, Coco Gauff defends like a fortress and attacks like a storm. Elena Rybakina's serve is so technically clean it almost feels unfair to the rest of the sport. These aren't players you simply hope to beat. These are players you have to outthink, outlast, and outfight for every single point. But tennis carries a beautiful, almost cruel randomness that no ranking can contain. A player coming off a rough stretch can walk into a big event and suddenly find a frequency nobody saw coming. A draw opens. A top seed has one bad afternoon. A break point falls your way instead of theirs. And just like that, the story changes. That's exactly what Alex is hunting. Not a fairy tale run, not yet, just the first win. Because in an event like this, that first match is everything. It's where the nerves are loudest and the legs feel heaviest. It's where every error seems to echo twice as long. But get through that, something fundamental changes. Confidence doesn't flood back all at once. It seeps in slowly. A clean winner, a hold under pressure, a comeback from down 0-30 that suddenly reminds you who you actually are. And once that trickle begins, you can feel it. The shoulders soften, the breath steadies. The eyes stop searching for reassurance and start hunting for openings. Nobody expects Alex to win Madrid. That's not the storyline here. The storyline is growth. Long, slow, sometimes invisible growth that happens match by match, even when the scoreboard says otherwise. Every hour on this stage is an education. You learn what Sabalenka's power actually feels like when it's aimed at you. You study the way Gauff constructs pressure from nothing. You experience what it means to hold serve against Rybakina when the crowd goes quiet and your heartbeat is the loudest thing in the stadium. Those lessons don't show up immediately, but they stack, and they become part of who you are. For Alex, still climbing, still proving, still standing as living evidence that the Philippines belongs on the biggest stages in tennis. Those lessons are priceless. And let's not pretend the emotional weight isn't real. Back home, people are setting alarms to watch. They're moving meetings, huddling around phone screens in jeepneys and living rooms, sacrificing sleep on a Tuesday because someone they believe in is about to compete. Not because they expect a miracle every single week, but because Alex gave them something genuinely rare. A reason to believe that success doesn't always travel in a straight line. That sometimes the path runs through heartbreak first. Through detours and early exits and long flights to cities that don't owe you anything. That's the story that actually connects. Not the perfect season. The human one. The one where you lose, you learn, you get back on the plane, and you try again. So when the boarding call finally echoes through the terminal, Alex stands. She swings her racket bag over one shoulder, rolls her neck once, and takes a breath. Not nervous, not overconfident, just real. And then she walks toward the gate. In a few hours, Madrid. In a few days, the first match. And maybe, just maybe, the tennis world watches another breakthrough from the Filipina star. Not because it was guaranteed, not because the draw was easy or the timing was perfect, but because she showed up anyway. Even when the road was rough, even when the doubts were loud, even when nobody was sure. That's what makes her genuinely dangerous. Not the ranking, not the highlights reel, the willingness to keep walking toward the unknown, one rally at a time, at a time.